In this tutorial, we're going to go through together how to create a promo campaign workflow. In this tutorial, we're going to start to get a neat idea for a way that we can start using tagging in our workflows and our marketing automation to see how we can keep up with customer engagement that way and things to do with that. And also how to use the range filter for a way to provide a sense of urgency or kind of just reward the first clickers or the first openers of a message in a way to kind of, reward people in that way, which is pretty neat. And so I'm actually going to start this workflow with the message opened condition. So I'm just dragging that over into the workspace. I'm choosing properties now, and then I need to just, of course, choose which message it is. And it's the one that I've named here. This was actually the first message that I'm wanting to start this workflow with and start tracking. And so from there, I want to actually be able to specify what happens when someone did or did not open this message. Those that did open this message, and whoops, I almost forgot, sorry about that. Back in properties, whenever I was choosing this specific message, I want to make sure that I always choose for some time. So I've reiterated this in a few of the tutorials if you've watched any others. But any time that you are using the condition, was a link clicked or was a message opened, you want to always specify and click this radio button for some time. And again, the default here is about a day and a half because we've done some research that shows about 99% of people who are going to actually open a message or click a link will do it within the first day and a half. If you leave it as forever or choose forever, we're going to wait forever to someone not open. So it doesn't make sense in this case exactly. So just make sure you choose for some time. You can see I almost forgot, but then, it's no big deal. We'll just go back into properties and choose for some time here. Okay, so with that now set up properly, again, I want to apply a tag. If someone actually opened this message, I want to give them a tag. So I'm connecting the dots here to the yes connector. Back to properties, now I'm going to assign a tag. There's some default tags here or ones that I've already created, and at the bottom of the list you can create your own tags if you would like. But in this case we have the default one that's already here of active. So anyone that opens this particular message at the time that I actually turn my workflow on and it's going, we're going to actually assign them a tag of active. And now anyone who did not actually open this message, they also get a tag. So moving over the tag action again, connecting it to the no connector, and I'm going to assign them a tag of inactive. Okay, so we've done that. Now I want to test things a little bit further and actually see if these active contacts actually clicked a link. So I'm connecting another condition to the action of the active tagging. So I want to check if a particular link was clicked in this message. And so I'm back to properties, simply to specify which link it was. And so let's say, did they click a specific message in this? And the ones that did click a specific link, I want to give them another tag. So I'm going to tag them again. So moving over the tag action, connecting it to the yes connector for link clicked. And would you looky there again, back in properties, look, for some time, okay? Don't be like me. Remember to click for some time, okay? So sorry for jumping around like that, you guys. But basically remember, was a link clicked? And we want to check for a day and a half how long it was clicked. So apologies for that. So remember, we're back to assigning a tag to those who did click a link within a day and a half of receiving my message. So we're going to give them a new tag or an additional tag. So back to the properties, I'm going to give them the tag of engaged. So now we've got this group of people who actually opened a message and clicked a link in it, and they were tagged active, and now they're also tagged as engaged as well. Now for those who did not actually click the link, but they did open a message, they're also going to get a tag because they were active, but they're not engaged, we can say. So back to the properties for assigning a tag, I'm just going to call them not engaged. And so from here, with these people who actually did click a message, I want to actually be able to reward the first clickers, the first ones who were clicking. And so I'm going to move over this range filter, connect it to the engaged tag, and I want to define my range over here. And so this is going to, range is great where you can, for example, like we're going to do is we're going to reward the first 100 clickers of the links with the specific, with the kind of exclusive discount. It's a way to create some urgency and a way to make it so it works out in that way where you can actually say, you know, the first 100 clickers get a special discount. And so, or the first 100 who open this message get a discount. Is you would just be applying the filter of a range to this to be able to do that. And specifically a range works because I could say the first 1 to 100, I'm going to give some other offer, but I'm going to add another range. Let's say the 101st to 200 are going to get a different message. Because there is a different filter, which is amount, which is kind of very similar to what we're talking about where I was saying the first 100 or the first subscriber will get a discount. With using this range one though, is like where you can do it twice basically. So the first 1 to 100 actually get something, or then the first 101st to 200 are going to get a different message. And then ranges are also a good application for A/B testing as well, if you wanted to test different messages with different groups of openers or clickers. And that's just kind of a, you know, an afterthought here for this particular example, but here we're wanting to do a range. And so this is where, and I'll give you one more little tidbit. If you wanted to actually just give an exclusive deal to some random particular subscriber, you could, for example, do a range of 100 out of 100. So the 100th clicker will actually be able to get an exclusive discount. But I won't get off on too many more tangents. I'll fix this range to be how I meant it to be, which is so the first 100 clickers are going to get an exclusive deal from me, and the 101st to 200 we can say are going to get a different type of message. So I've set this range up, and now what I want to do is set delays across the entire field here for my 3 different groups, or now I actually kind of have 4. So I want to wait a day between all of it. So I want to wait a day from my first 100 clickers. That's what that connector has to do with. Wait a day for those 101st to 200. Wait a day for those who are active. They opened, but they're not engaged. And then wait a day for those who never even opened a message. And now I need to start sending the proper messages to all of these different groups. And so over here with my first 100 clickers, I'm going to send a message. So let's connect send message action to this group here, which remember this was the first of our range, 1 to 100. We waited a day. Now we're going to send a message. So going back to properties, choose the message mail to engaged minus 10%. That's what I named my message for the 10% discount for those first clickers. And then I need to, of course, send the message to that second group of openers and clickers in my range. So moving over another send message action. And this is my mail to engage that has some, you know, good deals for them, some good incentives, but doesn't have that same offer that I did to my first 100 clickers. And then I actually want to send the same message to those who actually never opened my message and those who did open but didn't actually click. It's just kind of like going to be kind of a re-engagement, just to check in with them, see how they're doing. So I'm connecting the delay for the inactive contacts to send the message. And I'm also going to connect this delay filter to this message. So we can see now that both sets of these different contacts can get the same message after waiting a day. So I'm going to choose my final message, which is the mail to not engaged and also to inactive. So we could say this might be a re-engagement message to check in with everyone and see how they're doing. And so this is yet again a pretty simple example of a workflow that you could do that is, you know, a promo campaign, but it's also using tagging so you can keep track of your contacts. These are going to be searchable and search contacts by tag. So you could bring up all list, a full list of contacts that all have the tag of engaged. You could search for contacts with multiple tags. You can see here we've got a couple contacts that have multiple tags of engaged and active, for example. We also got to utilize this neat range filter as well that's going to let us kind of create some urgency and be able to do some really interesting marketing with, you know, kind of creating an urgency thought of the first 100 clickers, you know, will get this discount. And so now that we have this all set up, don't forget, save and publish. And then from that point on that you've clicked save and publish, as soon as one of your subscribers opens this message, they will start going through your workflow based on their activity.